Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and this is episode 561. If you are joining live, please say hello. If you end up watching the recorded version of the podcast, please also feel welcome to say hello, because I do get notified of all of those comments throughout the day as well. If I'll wait a few seconds before beginning, because I know people it takes a few minutes to pop over from pre-chat and getting notifications. Hi, Naomi. Good morning, Grace and Carrie and Christine. Thanks for joining live, everybody. Hi, Joe. Hi, Edna. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Hi, Judy and Jill and Val. Good morning. Hi, Shell Bell. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 561, and we are live in Southwest Florida in my backyard. The beaches were closed here as of yesterday. Hi, Gail and Sherry. So we won't be going back to the beach for a little while, but we'll be doing the podcast live here in my backyard and doing some designing elements in my studio. Hi, Diane and Gay. Good morning. Thanks for joining live, everybody. Hi, Lisa. Thanks, Diane. I'm glad you could be here too. I'm going to try to go live every day. Yeah, no beaches. All the beaches are closed, so there'll be, I won't be going down to the beach for a little while, but that's okay. We'll get back there again soon. Yes, I do have a beautiful view in my backyard. My plumeria is growing. It's spring, and the plumeria is getting new growth, which means we'll have leaves soon, and then after that we'll have flowers. So, very excited about that. My green onions have grown from the roots that you normally throw in the garbage. My green onions have grown to full size, so I'm going to have free green onions later today. And, oh, I haven't checked on my peppers in a while either. I gotta show you guys this, hold on. Oh, and I finally have growth on my lemons. Oh my gosh, wait till I show you guys this. Okay, hold on a second. I've got plant updates real quick. Hold on. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have seen those videos rolling around the internet of taking remnants from your produce purchases and the parts that you would normally discard and throw in the garbage to sprout them or pot them with some potting soil and regrow them. Well, these green onions are literally, see there where the white stops? That's where I cut them off after using my green onions, and instead of throwing the roots in the garbage, I put them in some potting soil, and within a little over a week, this is how many green onions I've grown. So I'm going to cut them down today and eat them, and hopefully this will just keep growing like that. How amazing. So once I did that and saw results, I decided to take a red bell pepper and pull all the seeds out of it and plant them. This is maybe 10 days growth now. And I put all the seeds in one pot, wondering if how many would take. Turns out a lot of them took, so I'll have to separate these out into a couple of pots probably. But these are going to be red bell pepper plants. Then at the same day I did that, I planted some lemon seeds, and I just noticed right now that I have a couple of sprouts. Can you see them? I'll point them out. There's one there, and there's one there. So I have 2 of my lemon seeds have finally sprouted, and I'm so excited about that. And then only a couple of days ago, I cut off the stalk of a celery, and I'm starting to see a tiny bit of growth here in the middle where the heart of the celery, some of that has grown a little bit taller than where I cut everything off. So it's shorter than 1/8 of an inch, but still this is only 3 days worth. So that's pretty exciting too. I just got potting soil all over my white jeans. Oh, wow. Yeah, Lisa, I might be growing my own lemon tree now instead of buying one, which will be a heck of a lot cheaper too. All right, I'm gonna go put all these back, and then I'll answer any questions you might have about this. I've been sharing progress photos of my planting escapades recently, and I know there've been lots of questions on Facebook with all the photos that I've been posting. So if anybody has any questions, please feel welcome to ask me, because it really is as easy as it looks and as easy as it sounds. I really just took the parts that I would normally discard. Potting soil, I used potting soil. I can even show you the bag if you want. Okay, it's upside down. But it says Miracle Grow Moisture Control Potting Mix. It was a bag that my mom had purchased and gave me some of her leftover. Oh, an avocado seed would be fun to grow too. I agree, because I know avocados grow very hardy down here in my climate. Speaking of lemon seeds. Hi, G. Thanks for being here. Hi, Elena. Hi, Joe. Good morning. Yeah, so yay, there's my progress. Does anybody want to see the progress on the plumeria? I don't think it's much since yesterday, but I'd be happy to show you if you want to see. Terry's using containers too. Yeah, I'm definitely doing containers. Elena's celery's growing too. Wonderful. Okay, Lisa wants to see plumeria progress. All right, twist my arm. You know I want to go out there too. So we'll get all this out of the way and then we'll get back to yarn. All right, so let's see. This one looks definitely a little bit longer than yesterday. And I know that once this starts, it does go pretty quickly. Oh, there's one at the top there that's really sprouted up. Can you see that one in the back there? It's got like a 4-inch stalk of new growth, and it has that broccoli floret looking section that's going to be the flowers. That one in the back has really grown a lot. Yeah, lots. One thing I wanted to check though to see if there's all of this growth on the replants. Nope, that replanted. Whoever lived here before me took some, cut off some of the branches of the plumeria and planted them along the back wall here, or the back fence line. Yep, there's new growth coming out of these too. A little bit of new growth coming out of there. Last year I only saw leaves on those. I didn't see flowers, but we'll see, maybe this year. But we should, hopefully we'll see some leaves pretty soon. I went for a walk in my neighborhood yesterday, and one of my neighbors that has a lot of plumeria trees in the front yard, she has leaves and flowers on her tree. And I remember her tree doing that last year before mine did, which was so exciting, because if you remember last year, I didn't know if this tree was dead or if it was going to grow at all. So, because it was my first year here. So, seeing hers starting means that this one's going to be shortly behind. For those of you just joining, welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. I'm Kristin Omdahl, and this is episode 561, and we're here live in Southwest Florida in my backyard with baby Bjorn and Becker. If you have any questions for me, please feel welcome to ask them live. And if you end up watching the recorded version, please also feel welcome to say hello. Hello, Crochet and Knit. And someone asked me about the lantern, and I have finished the knot portion of the lantern. So I did finish the whole piece and tied all of the fringes into knots. I have not decorated it yet. And one of the things that I was thinking about doing is some of the Harlow charms, which I did a tutorial video of the other day. All of the motifs of the Harlow charms I thought would make really cute decorations, like the star motif. I thought that might be cute decorating on here, or maybe taking some of the heart motifs Butterflies would be cute on there. And the flowers would be cute on there. And then if you didn't like that scale, this is doing 1 ply of Be So Baby yarn, where this was 3 ply of Be So Baby yarn using that chain plying technique. We could also do that with all of the motifs to make them bigger too, which I think this is the wrong scale for the decorations. I think I would rather see these, I don't know, they are pretty cute on there. So what I thought I'd do is with the tails, tie them to the single crochet sections, the places where it comes into a point. Yeah, I thought they might be cute on there. So I got to figure out color and combination of colors and all that good stuff, but I think that they would make really cute decorations on there. It's also fine just the way it is too. So, you know, sometimes if you're not sure about how to do something, it's fine to just leave it as it is. So I think that I'm definitely going to trim the fringe so that they're all the same size, and, you know, maybe kind of back burner it a little bit, but I can share the pattern for this and share some of those suggestions and, you know, a link to the video for those motifs. Are those orchids on the table? There are 2 orchids that are in a dormant stage on the table, and there is a little like Bjorns that are safe for kitties, because Bjorn and Becker love to nibble on all my plants. Sometimes I call it, you know, all you can eat salad bar for them, but whatever, they do get really excited. So I do have 2 dormant orchids up there, the celery stalk, the green onions, and a cross between a hibiscus and a bougainvillea, I guess. It has red flowers, and it was $3 at the store, and we're just going to see what happens with it. Yeah, beads would be amazing on here. Yes, we could get to that too. But I did something else instead yesterday. Instead of working on that after the podcast, I decided to keep working on my knit lace vest. And so you'll see here in a second. Let me get this. I worked on the lower body of my knit lace vest, and I can try it on for you real quick here so you can see where I'm at. I'm pretty sure I'm done with, remember how I said I wanted to do something a little larger scale, a larger scale motif for the lower body, so I did a smaller lace pattern for the top and a larger scale lace pattern for the bottom, and altered it with a little bit of garter stitch. I did garter stitch for a border in between the 2 lace stitches, and then I'll finish up with a hem also done in that garter stitch border, which matches the garter stitch selvage edge along the side of the sweater. And I may end up doing another button band there as well, but I'll try this on real quick so you can get an idea. But this is really coming along nicely. So I'm going to probably do 6 more rows in let's see, let me back up. So it's still on my knitting needle, so you really can't see it. It will come around to the front much better like that. And to give you an idea of how long it is, it's probably around there right now. So I'll probably do 6 more rows in garter stitch and then bind off, and then figure out what I'm going to do for the front, if it needs a little bit of a band or not, and then figure out if I'm going to add sleeves. Probably not adding sleeves. I kind of like this as a vest, so I might do a garter stitch band here before binding those off too, but we're getting close. It's almost done. So this should be a new knitting pattern in a couple of days, and it will have sizing for lots of sizes. Yeah, I love it as a vest too, Lisa, especially with spring and summer coming. I think a vest is way more timely right now. We could always come back to it in the fall and add sleeves to it. And I did not work much on the crochet vest, but I would like to show you that it's almost done too. So both of these vest patterns should be up and running soon. You can see, give you an idea, once it's blocked it would be about this length, so we're really close to the end on this one too. and so cute. So really excited to share both of those with you. These are both done in Be So Baby yarn. I'm getting caught up in the crochet one I did in colorway Eggplant, and the knit one I'm doing in colorway Forest Green. And those will both be sized patterns, and they'll have written instructions and charts. Thanks, Grace. I like the colors too. So those will be coming along pretty soon. I've been thinking about the fringe on the Leilani shawl too, and I've been thinking that this might be a really fun thing to make tiers, T-I-E-R-S, for a kitty toy. So you know those kitty toys that come on a stick where you get the stick and then you get things dangling down? I was thinking that to make long crochet chains with flower fringes coming off both sides of it, and then maybe doing 3 of those on the end of a stick. Wouldn't that be really cute for a kitty toy? So I'm thinking that that might be something really fun to do. What do you think of that? Yeah, and it would be super cute too. And then, you know, it'd also be a good duster, I guess. It would be a great decoration for the bottom of a planter. I think there's lots of applications where that style of 3-dimensional danglies would be cute for other things too. Yeah, the kitties would love it. And then we can play with them, and you can take some videos of them acting ridiculous with a new toy. How fun is that? Could I create a vest for festivals with fringe? Sure, of course I can. I actually thought about putting fringe on the bottom of this one. I've been debating doing some kind of crochet fringe on the bottom of this one, but I think I might want to do something shorter and do that. Missed something about Friday. Yeah, Christine, the toys don't last long, obviously. Yeah, when you make toys that kitties and dogs love, they usually don't last long, but that's the whole point, is to watch them have fun and be filled with joy. So even if it means destroying toys, I think that that's part of the whole process, and that's okay. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining. Okay, so you agree with me that this vest is long enough, right? I don't think I want to do another repeat of the stitch pattern. The stitch pattern is 18 rows, and I'm pretty happy with the length it is now. So I'm going to start, yeah, a window valance made of flower fringe. Absolutely, Grace. Or doing it as the edging along fabric. Fabric, what do you call it? Fabric curtains. That would be really pretty too. Definitely. So I'm kind of starting to plan what we're going to do on designing live on Friday, and haven't decided if I want to do try to start a garment from the beginning, or if I want to show how to convert a chart first. But I'm definitely open to suggestions, so if anybody wants to suggest what you'd like to see me design live on Friday, go for it. Whether it's knit or crochet, or starting something from a chart, or making a garment without a pattern. So if anybody has any suggestions for that, because I could just grab a ball of yarn and start with my neck, and also teach you what the proportions are. So like, there is a formula for creating patterns based on size. So like, depending on what the bust size is that you're looking to make, everything else is a proportion. So the neck is, I think the neck is 50%, the sleeve circumference is 50%, the yoke, meaning the portion that includes the arms and the bust, is usually like 135%. So I could draw that kind of a ratio chart, and then start a top-down sweater without a pattern and make it custom fit to myself. And we could do something like that. Or we could back engineer write the pattern for one of the dresses that are on my mannequins in my office. Grace wants to see a crochet halter top. Yeah, that would be fun too. That's something smaller that I could possibly make in a day, and then we could do fringe on that too. Shell Bell wants a crochet dress. You mean back engineering the pattern from one that's in my office, or you want to see me crochet a dress live? That would be really long. Christine, a half circle made into a top. Oh, you mean like this, where you tie it in the back? Jose is one of the dresses from my office. Lots of great suggestions, guys. And you know what? We'll get to all of them too. It's not like I'm only picking one suggestion. These are all things that we are on our list of things to do, right? Hi, Eleni from Greece. Glad you could be here. Hope you're well. I only have 6 rows for this edging. Wouldn't it be great if I could bind this off and then truly try it on? Like a U-shape in front. I'm not sure what you mean, Christine. Sorry. Diane would like to see a market bag. That's a good idea too. Terry would like to see a skirt design. That's a good idea too. Lisa says create a top without a pattern. Okay. Love all these ideas, guys. Then the other thing that we could also do is take any type of a square motif and convert it into other shapes like I do for my stitch tutorials, which would be a great thing to learn for doing this type of yoke shaping, to do a yoke shaped with a 5-sided motif, and show you how easy it can be in many motifs to turn a 4-sided square motif into a triangle or a 5-sided or a 6-sided motif. That's something that can be relatively easy to do with most motifs as well. So I could show that. The flowers, yes, the flowers are beautiful, I agree. Half circle. Christine, your comment went too fast, sorry. Melanie started a round motif to turn into a tank top and she's stuck, and I couldn't read the rest of the comment. These are all great long comments. If you could repeat them in the replay comments, then they stay static and I could read those later today. If you want to come back when the live podcast is recorded, I would love to see all of these comments and suggestions for future designing lives. In fact, we could do those every day too. We don't have to do the regular podcast every day. We could do more of those right now. I'm perfectly fine with going way over 30 minutes every day, as long as I have time to still ship orders. That's important too. And I want to thank everybody who is ordering for me right now. I'm so grateful that the post office is open, and I'm able to get there every day to ship everybody's orders. So if you're looking to purchase yarn, please consider purchasing it from me right now, and know that I am getting to the post office every day to ship orders. So thanks to everybody who is continuing to support my business and my shop. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Every little bit counts, right? All right, we're on the second row of 6 rows. I might be able to bind this off and truly try it on for you this morning. That would be exciting. And then have a better idea of where we're going to put, whether we're going to put the bands on the fronts or not. I have a feeling it's going to need a little bit. Wonderful. Yeah, a lot of people have been getting their orders. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And just to keep in mind, I still do have the free shipping promotion. So if you order $75 in the US, you get free shipping, and $150 international, you get free shipping. I still have some of the books on sale, please. I was reading the word please. And I still have the $1.99 bag sale promotion going on. Decided to keep those going right now, so you can take advantage of those extended discounts, and yarn is wound into center pull balls with every order, so remember that too. Somebody's just joining now, and thank you. Joe, those would be great colors for doing a self-striping ball. Yeah, that's the other thing. We could take the, the chain ply technique that we did, the color gradient change on that hat last Friday in knitting. We could apply that technique to crochet and do a couple of colors and either do a Tunisian crochet or a regular crochet scarf to do some more gradient color work as well, if you wanted to do that for a designing live segment or episode. Hi Pamela, thanks for joining live. Sorry I'm not catching some of the longer messages. They go by so quickly, you guys, so I'm trying to read them, but if you would like to repeat your comment or longer question, please leave them in the recorded version. Because I am... How many balls for eggplant? I don't know what you're asking about, Christine. Sorry. Hi, Medusa. Somebody from Southwest somewhere. I see a couple people wanting to do Tunisian. Yeah, Tunisian's fun. And Tunisian with 3 plies of DK weight yarn will go really quickly too. Make a nice blanket. Hello from Tennessee, and hi, Rose. Thanks for joining, everybody. So glad you could be here. So I'm 2 rows into the final 6 rows of my knit lace vest that I'm so excited to bind off on and show you what it looks like. Somebody's here in Fort Myers. Hi Mary, that's just a little bit up the road from me. And some other people have done Tunisian, someone's from UK. Wonderful, so happy to see so many people from around the world. We've got someone from India, England, and Greece this morning. Do we have anybody from Australia today? Sometimes we have people from South Africa too, and Canada. We see people from all over the world here, and isn't that wonderful? From the safety of our homes, we can talk to people from all over the world and be such a tight-knit community, no pun intended, of being creative and positive. I love it. The sweater, the eggplant sweater. I won't have the final ball count for the vests until I have finished them, and then that'll be based on what size you're making as well. So the number of balls of yarn will depend on which size you're making. But the smallest size won't be less than 4 balls, if that gives you an idea. These will be probably 4 balls each, and then more if you're making any of the larger sizes. Oh my goodness. Someone's asking, would it be easy to convert this pattern to crochet? If that's what you're looking to do, obviously you could, but I'm trying to release a crochet vest and a knit vest at the same time. This one will be the crochet vest, and this one will be the knit vest, and so they'll both be coming out around the same time. But obviously, you want to try to convert something, you can. Oh, someone else is here from Istanbul. That's wonderful. Thank you for joining us live. Yeah, we have loud birds here. It's so wonderful. No wonder the kitties sit on the porch all day, right? Thank you, Mary. I am excited to finish both sweaters. Absolutely. I've got the patterns mostly written. I have the charts done for the knit sweater. I have not finished the charts for the crochet sweater yet, so I have definitely some behind the scenes work to do once I finish them, but definitely working on it. Thank you, Crochet Rocks. I love my backyard. So do Bjorn and Becker. They are busy listening to those birds right now. I know, the birds are amazing. I love to sit out here when I can and listen to the birds. So do the kitties. What area am I at in Florida? I am in Naples, Florida, which is as far south as you can go on the west coast. So across Florida from Miami, if that might be a place that you recognize. Yes, my yard is very colorful. And next week or two, it's going to be even more colorful when that plumeria tree behind me blossoms. Yes, Edna, this is an exciting season for my backyard. You're right. Spring and summer are where it's at because all the flowers are so so saturated in color and so lush, and there's just so many of them, so bountiful. And within the next couple of weeks, it will include plumeria. We didn't look at the baby progress on my aloe this morning. Should probably go see what the progress is on that one too. Uh, Terry's neighbor has a plumeria and it shows outside her window. That's wonderful. I'm so excited for mine to bloom again this year. What I didn't know at last year was how plentiful the blossoms were going to be on the tree. It makes sense to me now why in Hawaii they use that tree for making leis, because it produces flowers over and over and over again until they're done. Ann Sterling, good morning. What software do I use to create crochet charts? I actually use the same software for creating crochet charts and knit charts, and it's called Adobe Illustrator. I use all of the Adobe products for publishing tools, so I use Illustrator for creating crochet charts, knit charts, and schematics. I use Photoshop for editing photos and doing some social media graphics. I use InDesign for page layout, for patterns, and for books. And I am self-taught in all three of those. Taught myself over the years how to use all three software programs, and you rely on YouTube and other online teaching tools for improving those skills over as I go. But it was definitely a long road learning them on my own, and I've come a long way. I'm very proud of how much better I've become at them over the years. They are, they aren't free. They do cost money, but they are professional grade, and they are considered, the professional standard for graphic design work. Hi, Maria. I'm glad to see you too. Thanks for joining live. So what did I say? This was row 3, so we're halfway through the bottom hem. Sure would be great if I could finish this, and what's great is that working on a garter stitch hem, I don't have to look at my work very much, so I can really try to answer as many questions as I can while I finish up this hem. Then I can show you my favorite loose stretchy bind off and then we'll be able to try it on for real. I did have a couple of drop stitches that I noticed this morning and grabbed some scrap yarn to catch them, so we'll have to do some surgery on this sweater before I finish it, but that's okay too. It happens. Especially when you knit at night with dark yarn, it's really hard to tell what your mistakes are until the morning. And so it turns out that I had made a mistake a while back and dropped a stitch, and caught it this morning as I was somebody was watching the podcast on TV and then switched to her phone so she could chat. Oh, cute. I like that. Hi, Christy. Thanks for joining live. All right, 4th row. We're in the home stretch. I'm going to do 6 rows for this bottom band, which is the same number of rows that I did for that center band here that separated the 2 stitch patterns. I'm kind of on the fence if it should be the same or it should be a little longer. I don't know. I'll go for 6. Get some water. All right, and so I had something else to share with you this morning, but please remember to leave some more suggestions with what you'd like to see me design live this week, and maybe we'll do 2. Maybe we'll do designing live tomorrow and Friday. Do you use Premiere to edit your videos? No, I use iMovie. I use iMovie on my Mac to edit my videos. I could use the Adobe software, but I haven't really learned how to use it yet. It's just on my long list of things to learn and do, but in the meantime, I use iMovie to edit all my movies on my computer, not an app on my phone. I don't like that at all. I like I make all my videos on my iPhone, I upload them to my computer, and I edit them in iMovie. What color is the vest I'm working? This is colorway forest green in Be So Baby yarn. And then I'm not sure which vest you're asking about, so I'll show both. And this is colorway eggplant in Be So Baby yarn. So the crochet vest is in eggplant and the knit vest is in forest green. And they will be starting at around 4 balls for the smallest size in Be So Baby yarn, and the number of balls will increase from there for the larger sizes, but I can't give you exact numbers until the patterns are done, obviously. You're welcome. You can see more photos of these yarns on my website, along with photos. This yarn comes in 28. What knitting needles do you use for number 2 fingering weight if you don't have a pattern? I think number 2, I call number 1 fingering weight and number 2 sport weight, but either way, it depends on what you're looking to make, Christine. If you're looking to knit with a number 2 sport weight yarn and don't want to use a pattern, if you would like to do something in a solid stitch where you don't want any laciness, I would consider something maybe in a 5, which is 3.75 millimeter. US 5, which is 3.75 millimeter, would give you a nice solid-ish fabric. But this is a general suggestion because I don't know how tight or loose you knit. I don't know what type of fabric you're looking to create. I don't know what kind of stitch pattern you're looking to use. But I would say something around a 5 or a 6 is nice for a solid fabric. And then in lace, you can go up to, if you wanted to do lace work with that size yarn, I have gone up to an 8 or a 9, which is 5 millimeter or 5.5 millimeter. I think I might have even gone up to a 10, 6 millimeter for a looser lace. So it really just depends on what kind of stitch pattern and what kind of fabric you want to create. That's it. But I would go in the smaller needles for a solid fabric and larger needles for a lacier fabric. And if you wanted something tight, you could go down to a size 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter. That would give you a tighter fabric. But again, not knowing a lot of other variables, I think that you do have a large range, and this goes for any yarn that you're knitting or crocheting. There is a large range of hooks and needles that you can use depending on what kind of fabric you're looking to create, what kind of usefulness you want for your finished project, and what kind of drape you want, and what kind of stitch pattern you're using, and what is your personal tension. So there's a lot to consider, and it might be fun to try a swatch in multiple stitches and in multiple needle or hook sizes and see which one speaks to you the best, which one feels the most comfortable in your hands, which one washes up the nicest. So if you felt like doing an experiment like that, you'd learn a lot about your own personal tension and about the yarn and which stitch patterns you like the best. I always think that that's a wonderful experiment to do when you're trying something new. Great questions today, guys. Keep them coming. I think this is row 4. I've lost count while I'm talking. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, this might be 5 even. This might be 5. It's even better. That means we're on the second to last row before we bind off. How awesome is that? So when we finish the podcast today, I am going to go wind yarn for orders, finish up shipping for the day, or do some shipping for today, head over to the post office to drop off packages. So thank you for all of those orders. I appreciate it so much. And then after that, I will try to finish up these patterns and work on their charts and get together some designing live elements to do it. We'll definitely do one on Friday, but maybe I'll surprise you with a second designing live broadcast tomorrow morning. Haven't decided if we'll do another one out here or if we'll do another one in there. Somebody says they also lose count. Do you want to see how I count the rows on this stitch pattern to see where I'm at? The best place to count rows in knitting, I think knitting's a little harder to figure out where you are in a pattern than in crochet. But if there's a yarn over somewhere, I really like to go back to that yarn over. Go back to a recent yarn over and count up from there. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So, because it's not always what it's not the first thing that you might assume. So here's our last yarn over section. So the last 2 rows of the stitch pattern before I started the 6 row garter stitch edge was a yarn over row and then a knit into the yarn over row, right? So the stitch pattern ends on a knit across row. So we've got that yarn over, but we don't count that hole as the stitch, because when you do a yarn over, it's the yarn over that's actually the stitch, which, oh, tomorrow is Friday. Thank you, Judy. Well, we are doing a designing live tomorrow then. So I will take all of your requests and surprise you with which one we do tomorrow. But maybe we'll do some more after that too, because I know you guys are liking it and I'm definitely liking it too. I like all of the, thank you. I forget, whatever. So let's go back to this real quick. But thank you very much. Thank you, Carla. I love my backyard too, and I'm so happy to share it with you. So when you're counting a yarn over in knitting, your first guess would be, okay, the hole's that row. No, it's that first bar above the yarn over that you count as the yarn over row. So we've got the yarn over, let's see, what do I have that's pointing? I thought I had a yarn needle out here. I don't. We'll use these scissors. Okay, so we've got that strand is the yarn over row. That one there. That strand is the return row. So then our hem now is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one on our needle is 5. So did that help anybody for counting stitches? Because I know that can be a tough one to figure out sometimes. So we're on our second to last row, like I thought, and woohoo, that's wonderful. Wow, tomorrow's Friday already. Wow, that's crazy. I've definitely lost count of my D's. Yeah, it did help some people. Wonderful. Yeah, because I know it's really easy to want to count that hole as the yarn over row, but you need to remember that it's the bar over the yarn over that is the yarn over row. So it is the bar above that bar that is your return row for finishing up that section of the stitch pattern. Terry says she forgets to count the row on the needle too. Yes, that's another one. Uh-oh, Bjorn's getting lovey. He's rubbing my feet, which means he's probably going to rub the tripod legs in a minute. So you've been forewarned that lovey Bjorn's here. Here he goes. All right, if you're going to do that, then at least come say hi to everybody. At least come say hi. No. He doesn't look like he's feeling it, does he? How about if I rub your belly? Does that change your mind? Huh? Yeah, there was almost a kitty quake. I think I stopped it. Uh-oh. Becker, are you getting jealous, honey? Becker cries sometimes when I pick up Bjorn. He's like, what about me? Well, come on, sugar. Come on. You want to come say hi instead? Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Oh, we're going to get a second kitty cuddle in the morning. Here, and this is Becker. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? No. Yeah, he gets jealous. You're my jealous baby, aren't you? Yes, you get jealous. It's okay. It's cute that you get jealous. I love you too. Don't worry. I know I'm a little crazy when it comes to my kitties. Don't worry, I know. Oh, it's a baby. Hi, Donna. Thank you, Anna. They are adorable. They're so sweet. Aren't you? You're a sweet baby. Yeah, you're a sweet baby. Thank you, Grace. They are sweet. Was it time to take a break from yarn? Yeah, it was time to take a kitty break. My cats are chunky. All right. They weigh themselves every morning in my bathroom. I have a digital scale that lights up, and when I go to the bathroom, I lost connection for a second. Eunice thinks that I might spoil them. Absolutely. It's so comforting to me to be very affectionate with them. And it's very comforting to me. I don't know what I'd do without them and getting to hug them. Anna has a female cat like Becker. Cool. These are both males and they are brothers from the same litter. All right, so back to the last row. And if anybody has any more questions for me, please feel welcome to ask me. I'm going to try to finish this. See if it makes sense to keep going. If everybody wants to stick around and join me and ask questions, then we can stay live while I finish the last 2 rows and bind off. And once I do bind off, I can legit try it on then and show it to you without that. Now it's not blocked. So what I'll do after I take this off of the needles, once I bind off, I will do a light blocking to get an idea of a better idea of the size, to figure out if I need to pick up and knit some bands on the front or figure out if I'm going to add buttons or whatever. So I will do a light blocking before I continue with the pattern and try it on as I go. So instead of washing it and soaking it, I might end up just steaming it a little bit, because steaming will give me a better idea than what it looks like on the needles right now. And I won't do the final blocking until I've got all my components done. The 5th of the 6 rows is almost done. If anybody has any questions, please keep them coming. There have been great questions this morning. Or if you have more suggestions for what to do when we do Designing Live tomorrow, would love to hear those. If I missed your suggestions for it, please feel welcome to leave them in the comments when today's podcast goes to recording. When it's not live anymore and it goes to recording, because then those comments stay. Okay. 6th and final row of our lower hem of the sweater. Yay! And then we're still in the home stretch of the crochet one too, so with any luck I can get both of them done soon. I love that I can look up when I'm doing garter stitch. Uh-oh, we have a kitty fight going on in the background. Can you see them? No, can't see them behind the table. Oh well. Crochet and Knits would love to see some Tunisian crochet garments. All right. I remember one Tunisian sweater that I made years ago ended up being on the cover of a magazine. Oh, and you know what else? I did crochet motifs for the yoke, where instead of doing 5-point motifs like I did in this crochet sweater to create shaping, I combined squares and triangles to get the same effect. So square triangles for the even sections, then triangles, which created raglan shaping at the 4 corners. And then after I created those 4 corners, after I created that yoke that went from a small circumference to a large circumference, then I did the body of the sweater in Tunisian crochet. It was for Interweave Crochet magazine many years ago. The sweater was white and the motifs at the yoke were multicolored. definitely something that I would like to do again, and definitely something I think that you would really enjoy learning, because then once you understand the concept of putting triangles where you would normally do raglan shaping and combining those triangles with squares, you could turn any motif into a yoke to make a sweater. Whether you wanted to then continue the sweater in the square motifs, this would be a really great tutorial for sketching on my big white board, because you would definitely get a visual to see what I'm talking about with there. And then you could either continue on in motifs, continue on in any stitch pattern, or in Tunisian crochet. Lots of different ways to make a sweater once you've got that yoke done. It was, I loved the concept of it. Really appreciated the fact that it got the cover of the magazine too. Don't I can't remember what it was now though. Too many. It's been 800, designed 800 garments in knitting and crochet. Yeah, beach cover-ups and skirts is a great idea, Sterling. Absolutely. Sabrina is her first time commenting on the podcast. Wonderful. Thanks for joining us this morning. I really appreciate you being here. Hopefully you come back again too. Tomorrow we'll be doing a Designing Live podcast from my studio, and it's already scheduled. So for anybody that wants to join tomorrow, the podcast is already scheduled. If you're subscribed to my channel, then and you picked up, click the bell notification, you'll probably be notified when I go live. If you go to that scheduled podcast, you can probably sign up for notifications individually on it, but you could subscribe as well to get those notifications for any time I go live or update a new, or upload a new video. Hi Steve, thanks for joining live. Hi Karen from Eastern Washington, glad you could be here. We've had people from all over the country and all over the world this morning, and I think that's just fantastic. So glad you all could be here. All right, we're almost done with the last row. And then I'll be able, Eunice is her first time commenting too. Wonderful. She misses the live because she's in UK. So you end up watching the recorded ones, right, Eunice? Shell Bell wants to know what the story is behind the necklace that I always wear. This necklace, specifically the heart pendant, was given to me by Marlon for Mother's Day when he was little. I want to say he was 5, so I've had it for about 12 or 13 years now, and I almost always wear it. I love the necklace, number one, but number two, it was a Mother's Day present from him all those years ago, and unless I'm putting on a special necklace for a special occasion or something specific, I just wear this every day, and I don't take it off. And I just love it, so that's fine too. But yes, there is a story behind the necklace that I wear. Hi Melanie, thanks for joining live. Becker's holding his toy on the ground underneath us. He's holding the blue kitty toy. Teresa's first time on the podcast too, and from Holden Beach, I think it was said North Carolina. Hello from Indiana. Oh, Steve's in Indiana. Wonderful. Thanks everybody for feeling welcome to say hello today. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you continue to feel welcome to chat. I know our community here is very warm and friendly and focused on positivity and creativity, and you'll see that when other people reply to you. All right, we're done with the hem, so now I can start my bind off. There are all sorts of ways to bind off, but when doing lace, my absolutely favorite way to do a knit bind off so you get a nice stretchy edge is to do a yarn over bind off or a lace bind off. And what that means is we knit the first stitch, then we yarn over, knit the next stitch, and then pick up that yarn over and first stitch and pull both of them up and over the second stitch. And I'll come closer and try to do this again. Okay. So this is what we're going to repeat across the whole row. We've got our first stitch already knit on the needle, and then we're going to yarn over, knit the next stitch, and then pick up that yarn over and first stitch and pull them up and over the second stitch. And it's that addition of the yarn over between the stitches when you bind off that gives it a super loose edge. You know what, I'll try to come around the other side of the camera and maybe try to get, oh, this is gonna be tough. Okay. Okay, so we've got our, this is our bind off edge and this is our live stitches. So I can't tell if I'm in camera or not. I think I am now. So yarn over, knit the next stitch, then pick up that yarn over and first stitch and pull them up and over the second stitch. Okay, can anybody tell me if that worked? Yeah, it's called a video podcast, Sabrina. I mean, loosely translated, I suppose we can call, I mean, there are no rules set in stone, I guess. But yeah, I know most podcasts are audio only, but Steve said it did work. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for letting me know. I felt a little in the wild over there. Melanie said it worked. Judy said it worked. Karen, you didn't even know of that bind off. Awesome. I'm so glad you learned something new. This is fantastic for lace because look at how stretchy that bind off is. It is my when you're doing a top-down shawl, absolutely the best bind off for getting a loose edge along the lower edge of a shawl. And if you've done any of my knit lace top-down shawl patterns, you've definitely seen this bind off in the instructions. I've done videos on it. I've shown it in lots of videos. If you would like to learn more about it, you absolutely can. But if you've ever had an experience where you knit something and you loved it, but the bind off was too tight and didn't allow you to block your garment and get a nice stretchy or soft edge, this is definitely the way to go. Is it good for garter or stockinette? If you want a loose edge, absolutely. You could try and, I mean, it'll work on any stitch pattern, AM Sterling. So yes, you could do it on solid stitches as well. It may or may not work for you based on what you're making. It may be too loose or it may be perfect. Depends on what you're making. So I really can't answer that question fully without knowing what you're making. But if you want a soft, stretchy edge to any type of a project, it is absolutely an amazing bind off. But if you want something with structure and you want something tighter, no, it's not the right one. But if you find that sometimes your bind offs are too tight, this would be a great addition to your skill set. Absolutely. So once you've got your first stitch knit, it's yarn over, knit the next stitch, and then pick up that yarn over and the first stitch, and together pull them up and over the second stitch. And look at that. Amazing stretch. This is Be So Baby yarn, which is my number 3 DK weight yarn, and I'm using size US 8 or 5mm knitting needles and getting this type of lace with it. I'll have better photos obviously when it's done, but that's the gist of it so far. And it's Be So Baby yarn in colorway forest green. If anybody has any other questions, please keep them coming. We've had such amazing questions here today. I have to look a little bit more for the bind off than I did for the garter stitch rows, but I'm trying to read everything still. It's funny, we can go seconds or minutes without a comment, and then all of a sudden, brrr, there'll be a bunch together. Martina, knitting is on your bucket list. Awesome. I've got lots of knitting patterns on my website and here on knitting tutorials here on my YouTube channel. Maybe you'll find something that speaks to you and makes you want to learn something new. That's great. And if you've got extra time on your hands right now, that's a great time to learn something new. Just remember to give yourself some patience and some kindness, and don't expect to become an expert overnight. I think sometimes we all fall into that trap where we think that just because we want to learn something, We will quickly become an expert overnight. And you know what? It doesn't work that way. So you have to have patience with yourself and kindness with yourself when you make mistakes. And when you get frustrated, it's okay to get up and walk away. Do I sell knitting needles? Someone wants to know. I do not sell knitting needles directly on my website, but I do share some knitting needles that I use in my Amazon shop. So if you go to amazon.com/shop/Kristin Omdahl, and there's a link to it in the video description below. If you go there, you can see some of the knitting needles that I use. And if you're looking for crochet hooks and a toolkit, I do sell my own crochet hooks on my website. So you can find that there. And they look, whoops, they look like this. And it comes size 2mm through size 8mm, a whole bunch of hooks, along with a set of split ring stitch markers, a pair of sharp scissors, a yarn needle, a needle threader, a tape measure, and it all comes in a really nice mesh zippered pouch. Hopefully I remembered everything that it comes with, but you can find that information on my website too. Really nice kit. I know a lot of people have really enjoyed it so far. You're welcome, Dreama. Dreama? I think I said that right. So we've got more of our edge done. Isn't that nice? Melanie has my crochet hook set and she loves it. Thank you. I love hearing testimonials from other people. Are the handles silicone or wood? The handles are bamboo, Sabrina. Which, yes, is wood. Grace loves my crochet hooks too. Thank you. I do too. You can find information about those on my website. I think they're even listed in the What's New section on my homepage. So if you just go to the first page. Oh, Judy's using my hooks right now. Val loves my hooks. Awesome. Thanks for the testimonials, guys. Bamboo is nice. It warms up from the heat of your hands, and it's very soothing to your hands. It's very nice. Val's using them right now too. Awesome. Bind off seems to be taking forever, but that's because you have to go a little bit slower than plain knitting. But it's important to do it right. So, gotta be kind with myself, right? Gotta be kind and patient with yourself. Great advice all the time, but it's something that we could really practice with when we're knitting and crocheting, right? These are not quick crafts, so it is a great practice for learning patience. I know I am a more patient person because of crafts. I think so. I think it helps to cultivate patience. Yeah, Eunice, you're right. Wood and bamboo are better for people with arthritis or pain in their hands. You're right. And the thicker handle is also better for people with arthritis or joint pain as well. Definitely. Oh, I know what else I wanted to ask you guys today. Yesterday, I think a lot of people showed some interest in me doing some cooking videos while we're all home right now and sharing some of the things that I'll be making while I am self-distancing at home. And I was wondering, some of the things that I need to make are kind of long. So like I was talking about making those healthy candied nuts yesterday where I use egg whites instead of butter and oil when I make those. But the thing is, it takes an hour to make. So would you rather me make tutorial videos on cooking that are condensed, or would you rather me go live and show the whole thing? Because I kind of felt torn yesterday when we all said, yeah, let's go live and do stuff in the kitchen too. And then I realized it might get really boring for you on some of the things that take long. So like whether I'm making bread or making the candied nuts or doing some of the slower things. So I was curious, would you rather me just do tutorial videos for that stuff, or would you rather me go live and, you know, we sit and chat and wait while stuff's in the oven? So I wanted to put that out there for you too. Because I felt conflicted yesterday and ended up not doing anything. No, not doing any sharing of my cooking. Hi, Lewis. Thanks for joining live. Glad you could be here. Sabrina says go live anyway. All right. Because like the nuts take 60 minutes and it's, you know, checking them every 20 minutes. So I was just, and they're at a low temperature in the oven. Maria says show the whole thing too. Really? Okay. Let's see what other feedback we can get here. Shell Bell says do it live. Okay. I'm sure I'll find something else to talk about while we're waiting, right? Plus it gives everybody the ability to ask more questions too. All right. Well, I will keep that in mind, and if I can find a time to do that later today. So if you're subscribed to my channel and have notifications turned on, then please, and you haven't yet, please feel welcome to do so, because that's the best way to be notified when I do go live. Grace says show it all. Okay. All right, guys. I will keep that in mind, and when I think that it makes sense for me, I will go live when I decide to do some of the recipes that I want to share. And you know what else I thought is that, because if there's some way that I can do a couple of things at the same time, then I will. The thing is, the few things that I wanted to share specifically, all use different oven temperatures, of course. So yeah, we could do something else while they're in the oven for sure. Okay. All right, because I have a taste for something sweet right now, and of course when I did my prep shopping for all this, I didn't think to buy anything sweet, which bums me out, because then when you do want something sweet, you know, you're always going to want what you didn't buy, right? Steak and beef was sold out when I was doing my last grocery shop as the stores were emptying. So of course, what if I wanted a steak all week, which is so silly. Reminds me of when I was pregnant, though, and I lived in Israel. My craving was Taco Bell, which was coincidentally the only thing I couldn't get in Israel at the time. So sometimes I think it's just your brain playing tricks on you. But anyway, it would be, I can't guarantee Marlon will be on, Melanie. He's feeling a little camera shy lately. And, you know, with all that's going on and everybody has their different coping mechanisms, I can't guarantee that he will join us. He's been feeling not like joining me much lately, and, you know, what are you going to do? Got to let people deal with situations in their own way. But if I can convince him to join us, I will, but no guarantees. We're almost done, I think. Give you a quick update here. We've definitely made a lot of progress here. This is looking amazing. I know. I love doing the videos with him too, Melanie. If I can convince him to do it, it would be my first choice too. I'm not going to make any promises right now. Exactly, Judy. You hit the nail right on the head. I'm trying to be very positive and PC right now, but you hit the nail on the head. Teenagers, yes. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to say anything that's not positive. Yeah, everyone handles things differently, absolutely. So not only do we have to find ways to be patient with ourselves, we have to find ways to be patient with others too. And it is definitely a practice. It's nothing that any of us is perfect at, including me. I struggle with patience with other people at times. It's definitely something that I struggle with at times, and it's definitely a practice that I work on all the time. Oh, this is so pretty. I can't wait to finish this and wear it. Oh, and a vest is such a great piece to make for spring. It is a year-round piece when you have a vest that you can throw over anything. Yes, Naomi, please learn how to pick your battles with your kids. Absolutely. This color is called Forest Green. It is one of the 28 colors in Be So Baby yarn, and it's called Forest Green. It's the darkest of the greens. I also have an olive green and a clover green. I probably have swatch and a chartreuse. Yeah, here we go. We've got them on the board right here. So these are the greens. I'm using forest green right now. And then there is olive green, chartreuse, and clover. So that's very nice to have that here. Oh, I hope I didn't drop my stitches doing that. Dang it. Where's my needle? Phew, that's good. Look at this. This is all we have left to do. So exciting. And then we'll get to do a quick try on, and I'll tell you where I'm going to go from there. So excited to try this on for you. So you may have noticed that there's some contrast yarn on the sleeve edges, and that's because in the process of turning the yoke into a cardigan or a vest, you have to put those live stitches from the sleeves onto holders. And instead of holders, I usually just use contrast yarn, and it's really easy then to pick those stitches back up on the needles to finish off the sleeves. And it gives you the opportunity then to think, how much of an edge do I want? How much of a hem? I might do a 6-row garter stitch hem on the sleeves, just like I did on the lower body, or I may decide to do a picot edge or add a little bit of a sleeve. I don't think I'm going to add sleeves though. I think I'm just going to do a garter stitch hem like the rest of the body. Then the other thing that I'm going to consider is adding bands on the front. Oh, Martina, that sounds pretty. You did the Brooklyn shawl, which is a crochet pattern for Motif Magic, and you did it in All Spruced Up, which is one of the colors I hand dye in Be So Sporty yarn. Wonderful. That sounds beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't drop too. Thank you. Pamela had to go feed her dogs and she's back. Wonderful. Glad you came back. Okay, who's ready for a drum? If I could do a drum roll right now, I would, because we are definitely in the home stretch here. Look at this. We're almost done with the bind off. Hopefully it didn't take forever for you. It felt like it took forever for me. I'm just so excited to finish it and try it on. Don't you get so excited at this point in a project? I mean, I know it's not done or ready to wear yet, but it's definitely a great highlighted progress moment when you can take a knitting project off the needles and try it on. Crochet, you can always do that because it's not stuck on the needles. Crochet, you work a stitch individually at a time, so your work sits open, but with knitting it stays on needles, so it's much harder to see your finished work until you take it off the needles, unless you put it on really long needles or put it on a contrast yarn like we did the sleeves. You can actually do that to the body of a project when you're working so that you can get an idea of what something looks like, but it's a lot of work then to put those stitches back on needles, so it's something I don't always do. But if you needed to see something, you could grab a couple of extra long needles and put half of your stitches on one and half on another if you wanted to get more space to see your work. Okay, ready to cut our yarn and bind off. Drum roll. Okay, I'll move my chair. Now keep in mind, this is completely unblocked, so it's still not what it's going to look like. But I can give it a good shake. See if we can get some of that length. Oh, look at that. It already looks so pretty. This is right off the needles though, so it's definitely not done. We definitely have a little more work to do. I'm going to steam it today and get some flat edges on it. Then I need to decide if I'm going to pick up and knit along this edge to create a band or leave it as is. I could even put a tie right here and just tie it, or I could put a button or two right there, or I could just have the intention of leaving it open. But it definitely needs some blocking. It's not laying totally flat in the back. Hi, Sugar. but you can see the stitch if I bend down. It is nowhere near blocked yet, so it'll definitely open up more like that. It'll open up more like that when it's done. So yeah, so there's still lots of progress to come, and I'll show you more of that when we get there. Okay, somebody stole my chair. Come here, sugar. You want to sit with me? Oh, I know you want your chair back. I know. Why don't you sit with me? All right, so I'll give you another update on that as time moves on. But if anybody would like to pick a number between 1 and 7, I have all 7 of my Create, Share, Inspire notebooks with me. Thanks, guys. I'm so glad you like it so far. I have all 7 of the Create, Share, Inspire notebooks with me. So if somebody wants to pick a number between 1 and 7, I will randomly pick a quote. Karen says 4. We'll grab 4. This, I've been enjoying telling you guys where I was when I made these sunset photos also. I took photos of all of these beaches here in my area. This one is from Barefoot Beach, and I went there one night by myself with carry-out food from my favorite Cuban restaurant called Taco Mix, and I had this delicious food out of a styrofoam container sitting on the beach watching the sunset by myself, and I thought it was so spectacular. I had a pineapple soda and a taco, or some tacos, and just couldn't believe. I wished I had someone to share it with, but I also thought what an amazing experience it was, because to have good food, a yummy drink, and to watch that beautiful sunset was really a special moment. And that's what this particular book will always remind me of. So let's randomly pick a quote. I think I've already picked one though. My hand was already open on a page. So this is a Serbian proverb. Be humble, for you are made of earth. Be noble, for you are made of stars. Isn't that a great balance? I love that. Love it so much, because it is all about a balance, right? You want to be humble, you want to be centered and grounded to the earth, which is where we get our patience and where we get our kindness and where we get our forgiveness from. But we also want to be hopeful and positive and full of dreams and aspirations, and that's where we look up to the stars. So it's that balance between being grounded on the earth and still looking up at the stars that really, it's what my goal is every single day, to find balance between the earth and the stars. What a great way to write it. So thanks to this Serbian proverb, let's read it one more time. Be humble, for you are made of earth. Be noble, for you are made of stars. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I hope you enjoyed the quote. I hope you enjoyed chatting with me and everyone else here today, my show and tells and my little tutorials. I'm so glad you had time to join me. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye.